Welcome back to a new episode of The Good Talk here in studio. And today we have these guys that are coming back, natural bodybuilders, Valley and Fury. You guys have been on here before, and how do you guys feel about coming back?
Let you start, bro.
I feel great. The last time that we were here, went about as well as I could have wanted it to. I feel like we really got to share our perspectives on the movement. And since then, that was back in June, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know, like we're 4 months later and we've generated a lot more progress since then. So, you know, we're making steady climbs.
Okay, cool. Valley, how do you feel about being back?
I say the same thing, man. Definitely like working with you. Like you said last time, coming in here is always feel like I'm walking into my home because it's always homey. But just great to be back around somebody I feel like that understands what we have going on too. Not just, you know, us being able to progress as fast as we've done with the groundwork and the word of mouth that we've been putting out there. But, you know, being around somebody that actually kind of like understands what we're trying to do is dope.
Sweet. So to get some context about you guys' movement, can you guys just give us a little bit more about your movement and the progress you guys have made since June?
Absolutely. All right. So we'll pretend that whoever's listening or watching doesn't know anything about us and hasn't seen the first episode. We are producing a documentary that is intended to put a spotlight on natural bodybuilding. It follows our journey to the top of that natural bodybuilding circuit as we assert ourselves as those guys, the top athletes within the game. When we first hopped on back in June, we had just finished our first bodybuilding show where Valley placed second in the overall, which is actually stellar, especially for his first show. And I placed second in my class, which is also pretty good. We are competing against enhanced athletes. That's something that we have been doing this past year. We just finished a show last weekend or 2 Saturdays ago where we competed against enhanced athletes for our pro cards. We did not walk away with the overall, so we didn't get our pro cards. However, we went into it knowing that we were kind of at a disadvantage due to the fact that the athletes were enhanced and we were doing our thing as natural bodybuilders, and we still showed up fantastic. We kicked ass. We got our homie in the back, D. Will over there. He actually did very well as well. He's a natural athlete.
Very well.
Yeah, so we're also looking to highlight his career as well. But overall, just tremendous progress. We're really building a community, establishing a network within the industry and the sport, and it's really just only up from here.
Okay, so just to be clear, you guys are still natural.
Of course,
right?
Baby, of course.
My intention 100% is to die natural. Unless like somebody slips some shit in my drink, which apparently does happen. It's like if you're taking protein powder from like the wrong brand, that could happen. But if I have anything to do about it, I'm dying natural.
I can attest to that too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the same thing.
Okay, well let's get into it, right?
Yeah, man.
Let's go ahead and I have a couple questions here for you guys. And the first one is, how do you guys respond to the skepticism of people regarding your natural status, that they don't really believe you guys are natural because you guys look incredible, right? And you guys are competing against non-natural people as well. So how do you guys respond to the skepticism of people?
Do you want to tackle this first?
Go for it.
Okay. Well, I can't be too concerned with how people feel as to whether or not we're telling the truth.
Ding.
If you actually take a look, all right, I'll put it to you this way. The top enhanced athlete is, a lot of people say, Chris Bumstead, who just retired this year. He had his last show at the Prague Pro, I think like last Sunday, right? He presents a certain look, all right? And his look is big, bubbly, super well-conditioned, and outside of the realm of what we can conceive can be achieved naturally. It's just outside of that idea. When you take us as representatives of the top of the natural bodybuilding side, when you take comparisons between us and Chris Bumstead, it's quite clear, okay, if Chris Bumstead is a representative of the top of enhanced and we are the representatives of the top of natural, the distinction is, it's right in front of your face. So I don't feel like I need to really debate it much further beyond that, you know? That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I answered this the last time in a sense, like, I've never been in a place in my life where I feel like I owe anybody a verification of what I am or who I am. So if there is anybody that kind of like doubts that, like me doing what I've been doing, I feel like that's all I need to continue to do. You know what I'm saying? Just showing who I am, showing up every day, and putting out, you know, the message that we've been doing. You know what I'm saying? It's regardless of, I can come out, we can go to a doctor right now and go get blood work. Put it on TV, put it on, you know, air, show everybody what we are and what we're doing, and people still question it.
So you guys are willing to do blood work?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and then showcase it to the public.
100%.
Hell yeah.
And that's my intention. If somebody wants to fund it,
That's exactly what I'm about to get at. I will gladly go. You tell me where to come to, what doctor you just paid for, and I'll pull up. Me ain't trying to pull up. We ain't hiding from shit.
If someone wants to fund this test for you guys, that you guys will gladly
DM me.
100%.
Valley Muscle with 2 Y's, Sean Fury. DM us. Let us know.
We're operating on a shoestring budget. You know, we have jobs, we pay bills, and we are not millionaires yet. This project and this movement and everything that we're doing within our careers will turn us into millionaires.
That part.
But we're not there yet. And until then, I am not prioritizing the proof of, let me do some blood tests. So the people who don't,
Exactly.
and here's a big point that I want to make when it comes to people who are skeptical. I'm at the point now where we've been doing this for a year, so far as bodybuilding is concerned. If you're in the sport, you can tell if you're natural or not, period. If you are competing in the sport of bodybuilding, that guy's natural.
The people that are asking if we're natural or not,
they haven't stepped foot in the gym.
They've never, not even that. There are people that are in the gym too, but then it's like, they're not doing what we're doing at a competitive level. So they'll come in and just because our bodies are exceeded at a level that they don't think that their body will ever get, they'll look at like he might be on PEDs. But when they hear that we are, it's a big ass shot.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like it should be a real big shot because we don't look like it.
Yeah.
So you guys are saying someone that's on enhancements, it's very obvious.
Yeah,
that
it
they're
is,
on
like,
enhancements.
100%.
Okay.
If you're trained, okay, because as a natural athlete, what can you control in order to optimize your body? Food, weight training, and sleep. Yeah, that's all you got. And if you peak those aspects of your training, you will present a certain look that is admirable, and it's like, oh my God, I want to look like that guy, right? Now, if you incorporate steroids into that, the look will be significantly different, especially if you have the right genetics and you respond well to steroids. Unfortunately, there are some people, like let's say recreational weightlifters, if they take steroids, their bodies might not respond in the same way that Chris Bumstead or one of my favorite steroid users, Kevin Levrone, when he hopped on gear, his body exploded. And it responded in a way that no other athlete really gets those benefits. And then you'll take another, like on the other side of it, person can take steroids and just nothing happens. So,
and I've witnessed that. I've known dudes that were in the gym when I first got into the gym, and it wasn't even on a bodybuilder aspect. They were telling me, you know, man, you look amazing. You know, if you actually got on some gear, what you would look like. I was like, bro, you just gave me the biggest compliment in the world, talking about I look good, but you think I would look better with steroids? No, I don't. I got all the time in the world. I don't mind taking my time to grow and get where I'm trying to go. I don't need a cheat code to try to train my body. That's absurd to me.
Okay, great. So let's do something real quick. I have a list of a few bodybuilders here that are enhanced and natural, according to them. Okay. So I'm gonna name them out. If you guys know them, tell me if you guys think they're natural or enhanced.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it. Okay, so the first one, Frank Zane.
Frank Zane, he was enhanced.
Yes.
Enhanced?
Very much.
Every bodybuilder during the golden era that was a pro.
He was one of them.
Yeah.
One of those guys too.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Ronnie Coleman.
100%. Now he turned pro natural. And if he had stayed natural, goddamn, my goal's over.
He felt like he couldn't compete against those guys.
And it's true.
And it is true. And the guys that were ahead of him, they kind of horsed him what to get on and what to do. So yeah, he was definitely on.
And that's the problem with competitive bodybuilding is that, you know, Ronnie Coleman arguably had the greatest physique as a natural, period. And he was losing. He was coming in last place every time he showed up as a natural. So from there, what option does he have?
And he looked comparable to those guys. He just didn't have the bubbly muscles.
And
so with that said, do you guys think when you guys compete and you guys are not getting first place because you're going against people that are enhanced, does that not demotivate you guys?
Nah.
Because you guys are not winning?
Nah.
No, it just motivates me more.
Yeah, but you're always going to be competing against these guys that are enhanced.
Not necessarily. From my perspective, and we've kind of been collaborating as to what shows we're picking. There's not only enhanced or untested bodybuilding shows. There are also tested natural shows that you can compete at. We just haven't done it yet.
Why not?
Ask Valley. I'll let Valley.
Why do you guys go against people that are on enhancements? That you guys are just kind of putting yourself at a disadvantage if you guys are natural.
That's the whole point.
How is that a good point though?
Because the whole point is, how do I put a spotlight or bring a spotlight to something that don't have a spotlight if I'm just beating people that are over here and no spotlight? I'm trying to beat motherfuckers that have the spotlight.
You had a competition when...
I came in June. I came in first in my overall and I came in second.
And you were competing against people that were enhanced.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Jake. Dude is dope as fuck, but in my perspective, I feel like he beat me because of posing. Like, it's comparable body. He had me on 5-10 pounds of mass. But as far as conditioning, he'll even say it. My conditioning was absurd. By far, I had the best peeled body at that show. He beat me in my posing. I would have won that show. That would have been my first time doing that show. Any show against enhanced people. So that right there, which I took it from that. Like, that first time me doing that spiked my energy. So I'm still off that high from the first one. So even though we just went to the Bahamas and I didn't place in this second one, I'm still here.
Yeah,
because I know what I'm trying to do, and me being at the top of the stage, in the middle of the stage, in my first show, I know it's possible. So maybe had I not came that close in that first show, I'd be sitting here maybe not even with that doubt, but I'd be like, damn, it's gonna be a little harder for us to reach this goal, but I know it's possible. I don't have that doubt because I've seen it. And I've been in center stage next to a guy that's on PEDs. And for us to get a spotlight like this, we have to beat the guys that have the spotlight. You can't take a spotlight from somebody that don't have a spotlight.
True. All right, let me see. Let me keep going on this list. What about Lane Norton?
Lane Norton. My understanding, and every name that you're listing, I actually have some historical knowledge of.
Cool.
So should I take that out of it, or when I answer these questions?
Yeah, whatever your historical knowledge is.
Lane Norton is natural.
Natural.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. What about Jay Cutler?
Enhanced.
And
again, that's a perfect example.
Shout out my OG.
You do not look like Jay Cutler as a natural. It just can't be done.
And
sorry.
And he'll tell you that.
Yeah, can't be done.
Okay. What about my favorite, Michael Hearn?
That's a tough one.
I'll say.
He's
a natural.
He claims natural.
He's been claiming natural his whole life, right?
All right. So here's my comment on Michael Hearn.
It's just kind of hard to believe that he grew up in the PED era when it came out and he never touched it for me.
Yes.
Like that's the only thing. Like I'll give a person the benefit of the doubt. If you're saying that you are something, I don't know what you are, so I'm gonna give you shit. Right. That's what you are. But if the way I look back at it, you grew up with those guys that were heavily on it. Mm-hmm. So one thing my pops always taught me, you are what you hang around. So how did you mishaps and not touch anything that your friends were doing when you were deeply enrooted in that shit? That makes no sense to me. So I don't know if he is or not, but if I had to take a guess, I would believe that he was on. He touched something back in his day. That's just my opinion.
And my stance on Michael Hearn is I've always been a person who likes to take people for the word. So if you hop on a soapbox and say that you are something, then I want to believe you. My only issue with Michael Hearn is if he is truly natural, I don't appreciate how he ducks the question. I don't appreciate how he doesn't provide the blood work. I don't appreciate how if you are an advocate for natural bodybuilding and like you are this person,
doing enough.
You're not really showing like evidence to prove that. Instead, you're just kind of claiming it and being very dismissive of it.
That's all he's doing.
And if you actually take a look at his physique, if he is natural, then he is without a doubt
the top tier.
Yeah,
like
is he your idol? If he's natural, is he like what you guys want to be? He's at the top of the game, and he's been there for so long.
If he's natural, but again, he's not doing enough to really
to represent us.
Yeah, his physique is so phenomenal that of course people would question whether he's natural or not. He's in his 50s and he looks like a fucking Greek god. So like, do something. Show me that you're fucking natural. Otherwise, I can't make you my idol because you're not. There's no proof. You're not telling me like you look like you're enhanced. So show me that you're not.
So what you just said is probably what people think about you guys.
That's cool.
Thank you for the compliment.
So that's a compliment to Michael Hearn, right?
Yeah, but again, that's my point. Look, like you.
I see where you went with that.
I see where he's going too. But you ask us the question: are we still natural? We say yes. Then you ask us a series of other questions that we answer in very straightforward. We give you our reasoning. We give you our evidence so far.
And we just told you shit. Pull up to a doctor. We'll meet you at the doctor's office.
Michael Hearn wouldn't do that.
He ain't doing that shit.
Yeah. And in fact, if Michael Hearn gets questioned, natty or not. So here's the thing about natty or not. What is natty? What is not?
He tries to diffuse
all right, let's
the
get into that
like,
then. What is natty? What is not? What drugs are considered? If you take some drugs, right? Some enhancements. Which ones will take you out of the natty status?
There's a thing called steroids. No, I'm kidding.
Got you. Okay. Okay. Steroids, right?
Yeah.
What are steroids? Let's get into the steroids.
There's liquid stuff that you can put under your mouth.
Yeah.
Okay. What about TRT?
Yes.
That's considered steroids?
Yes. That's testosterone replacement therapy.
Sure.
So you're injecting testosterone.
So that will take you out of the natty status.
Yeah.
With SARMs.
Yes.
Yep.
What else?
Dianabol, Anavar. I like these names because they're just really. I just think the names are so fun. I try to list them. Anavar, Trenbolone.
Shit, we was gonna make one up.
Melatonin. That's one we were
melatonin.
Yeah, we're gonna like strip. we're gonna strip some of our pigment and then put it in with tren and then call it melatonin. So then you get our pigment plus a little bit of the like you know what I'm saying.
But there's a lot. There's a lot of steroids like Dextrin. The names are like crazy.
Like the names make you not even want to do them. Like what the fuck?
But on the other hand, someone else, they're just stockpiling this shit. They're just doing what they're told because, and my biggest issue with the sport as a whole is that when you look at the heroes of it, you got Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was like pretty much the first hero of bodybuilding. And when bodybuilders are chasing after Arnold, they understand that he took steroids, so now
I gotta do it.
Yeah, because they're just chasing after their idols. In the same way that when you get into basketball, if Michael Jordan's your idol, you're just trying to copy Mike. So if Mike was doing steroids, you guys would be doing steroids too because you're followers.
Yeah. Do you think it hurts the reputation of natural bodybuilding when there's guys like Michael Hearn saying they're natural and they might not be?
I'll be honest with you, I don't feel like it hurts because we don't really have the spotlights for it to hurt.
Yeah, I agree.
What is it hurting?
Yeah.
He's hurting himself.
Well, it might hurt in the sense where like in the future you guys are trying to become, at the top of this game. So you guys are doing this now. Do you think it might hurt in the future?
I don't see it ever hurting because I feel like as long as we stay true to what we got going on, I could care less. This is the movement that we have going on. As long as we stay true to what we do, nothing else that anybody outside of our circle does can hurt us. Like, if we got people that are in our circle, immediate circle, and they're claiming to be exactly what we are, and it comes out that they're doing some shit that makes us look bad because now that's our circle. I just got done saying you are what you hang around. So then it's like, okay, so Valley just said on his podcast, you are what you hang around. So how is one of his friends with some shit he never touched it? Or how did he not know? Or then it hurts us. But Michael Hearn, I don't know him like that.
Yeah. Okay, do you guys have friends that are claiming natural that you guys might not think they are natural?
At first, I ain't gonna lie, we got a homie named Josh.
Josh Manoe.
Call him out.
Josh, we thought you wasn't natural at first, gang. I ain't gonna lie, but I think everybody that's your friend kind of think that because the dude's physique is fucking god.
But he is natural.
Hell yeah, he's natural.
Okay. Yeah. Every time he posts,
I look at this shit like, bro, and I just don't understand how he stays so peeled.
Yeah.
Like even during his bulk, like he's been doing it for a while, so he's kind of like mastered his own body. But I got a lot of respect for my boy Josh.
Yeah. Josh is the one individual that he claims natural. I believe he's natural, and then I'm looking at him, just like,
this motherfucker.
this guy.
What makes you feel that way, or what made you think that he wasn't natural when you guys were just hanging out?
All right. For the record, I've always thought he was natural. But before I met him, I was questioning it because of his size. His size and his shape and his level of conditioning, which is like the three factors when it comes to bodybuilding. He mastered pretty much all factors of bodybuilding as a natural. So he is just he's like a prime example of what top genetics will give you if you pursue the sport of natural bodybuilding.
Have you guys ever had someone that claimed they were natural and then you guys found out they were natural and then lost some kind of trust in them?
No one that I know of.
Everybody that we know is kind of really open about what they do or what they don't. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like the PED users that we know, like shit, they kind of like really intrigued to tell us that their own shit when they find out that we're natural. Like, I think the guys that are on shit are really eager to tell us more than people that aren't for some reason, because it's like they're in awe of us. Like, what the fuck? I'm on shit and you guys look like that. Like, what the fuck? Like, so it's crazy.
Do you guys feel pressure to look a certain way, being natural and competing against people that are enhanced?
I will say that
he does. He puts a lot of pressure on himself.
All I'm gonna say is that I put pressure on myself during off season because I have a tendency to overeat and I can put on a lot of fat. And if my goal is to be like the greatest of all time, my desire is to look the greatest or as great as I can 24/7. And that sometimes conflicts with my eating desires. So, and then, it's just me being completely transparent. So, I'm a week out from my last show and I haven't even stepped on the scale. I'm probably like 10 pounds heavier than the last show on November 9th. And
10 pounds. Oh, that's not
even crazy.
That's nothing
Maybe
compared
16.
to. Yeah, I was like, but I mean,
16.
shit, I'm up like 17 pounds. I was 160. I'm like
you're up
170.
17, then I'm
like
up 20.
178.
All right, I should step on the scale. But yeah, so far as like pressure is concerned, I definitely have a desire to present as like, oh my God, that guy's the shit. And if I put on extra fat, then that's not happening.
Okay. And then what do you say to fans who feel confused or misled by people, by bodybuilders that say are natural bodybuilders? Like there's, younger people that are following like Michael Hearn, maybe people like you guys, and they see you guys in your physique and they're looking up to you guys and they're saying, and they see you guys are natural, but there's other people that are saying that are natural and they're not natural.
Yeah.
So what do you say to those fans?
I will say for me, I can't speak for any other genre of people that are natural, but for like the black community that is natural, like it's easy for us to just be like, we're black. Like, no offense, but it's like, so you might be questioning if we are or not, but the moment I'm like, nah, bro, I'm natural. I'm like, I'm black. That's my cheat code. They be like, oh, okay. Then it's like they snap into reality, like, damn, he's kind of right. And then they'll start looking at our physiques and they'll start to analyze, like, okay, he doesn't look as bubbly as a guy that or somebody that would be on PD, so maybe he is telling the truth. But for us, that's some shit that I've been telling people for a long time. Like, bro, I'm not on shit. I'm black. Like, fuck, like, because it is like a cheat code for us. Like,
sure. Yeah. And then with that said, right, you guys have very good genetics.
Yes.
Do you guys feel that you guys are putting some unrealistic expectations to the younger people?
I want to take both of those questions. No, because the whole message that I'm really trying to push out to the world is stay true to yourself and focus on your genetic potential. And that exists outside of bodybuilding as well. Find out what you're talented at, find out what your skills are and then develop them, hone them to the highest level possible. See what the heights that you can reach as a natural individual.
And the reason, like, it just goes with everything, because if you can't focus on trying to value or better yourself naturally within here, how are you going to do that anywhere in the world? Like, you're going to be looking for a cheat code or something fast way to get you to anything that you want in life because it's easier, it's faster, it's this way. That's not how I want to live my life.
Yeah. And I also want to make a comment to that other question about fans being kind of misled when it comes to misinformation and stuff like that. When it comes to, here's something that I find very interesting. You take the top bodybuilders over the ages, Tom Platz, for example, or Lee Priest or Phil Heath, and they get interviewed and they talk about their steroid use. And a common thread that I see in these like top bodybuilders is that they like to dismiss how much steroids they took.
Oh, they took this much.
Yeah.
Or they did some. The other guys were taking 17 vials a week, but I was only taking 2.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like
you're still on steroids.
Yeah, and to me, what that says to me is like you guys are already saying what the truth is, which is like you are relying on an outside and external source for your enhancements, and you're trying to minimize the amount of external sources that you use in order to reach your heights. So my whole thing is like, just get rid of the external sources altogether. What are you capable of achieving? And unfortunately, bodybuilding turned into the one sport, and we can get into that later on, but bodybuilding turned into the one sport where enhancements were encouraged. Whereas every other sport, if you're taking steroids, you're cheating.
You're frowned upon.
You're literally cheating if you're taking steroids
You
in
get kicked
any
out of
other
the
sport.
league, and this is at the top of health and fitness.
Yeah.
And we're glorifying PEDs in health and fitness category. it doesn't make sense. I'll say something like he said a couple of weeks ago. It's like if Michael Jordan was actually on steroids, right? How much was his success be credited or taken away because he was on steroids?
And even worse, if he was on steroids, and everyone who also wants to be like Michael Jordan, how many of them would now feel incentivized to take steroids?
So damn, he got 6 championships, and that's not what he did, was to put something in.
Guess I better take steroids. And that's the problem with bodybuilding, unfortunately.
The motherfuckers that's running 20 miles an hour at the Olympics, they can't do drugs. When they get fined, when they get found out to have PD from drinking a damn milkshake, they get you can't even go run no more.
Yeah.
And they don't even get paid. They get sponsors.
Yeah. So that is an interesting little thing as to how did it turn out that this one sport in particular is the only one that really not only promotes it, but it's
glorifies it.
Yeah, like you got to. If you our teammate Billy, we actually traveled to the Bahamas with him.
Shout out my dog Billy.
Yeah, he actually just got his pro card, so congrats to him. He just became an IFBB pro.
Yep. Natural?
No,
he's PD.
No. Yeah, and he made a comment to me after he won his pro card, and he said, either you take steroids or you get comfortable losing, because you're going to get to a certain level where every show that you show up at, if you're not enhanced, you're just going to lose. And from that perspective, if you're going into the mindset that I want to be a competitive bodybuilder, and that's what everyone is telling you, coaches, athletes, rivals, now you have no choice but to take steroids. So that's the downfall of bodybuilding as a whole.
So with that said, you guys are still going to stay natural, competing against. But what about competitions that have rules, right? That you have to get you have to get tested. Yeah, why don't you guys do those competitions?
They're fucked.
Why?
Even though it's like there be dudes that be fucking slipping through the ranks that's on shit. Like,
and well, that's one reason, but another reason is that there's no prestige within those shows. So
again, there's
so
no
even
spotlight.
in those competitions, people are still on stuff.
Well, not necessarily, but it's like this. Okay, I will say yes, but then it's like this because just at the Ben Weeders last week, everybody gets polygraph tests, right? I know people that can pass a polygraph test. A polygraph test doesn't really know if you're lying or not. And then if you win, you get tested, urine test. So there's guys on stage that could be necessarily on something you wouldn't know unless he won.
So you don't get tested before competition?
No, you just get polygraph test and you get urine after. If you were first, if you end up getting a place or win something, then you get a urine sample.
So you guys think the natural bodybuilding community should have stricter rules?
Way more stricter rules.
How do you guys combat that? Like, how do you guys advocate for having stricter rules with bodybuilding?
So I actually have an idea. It's pretty ambitious, but I'm giving myself 10 years to execute it. I think that what we need is a new federation or a new promotion that is more focused on creating stricter testing. Right now, the top natural bodybuilding federation is called WNBF. They have like the highest level of testing when it comes to that kind of thing. And even then, my understanding is that you have to be clean for at least 7 years in order to compete. And then if you took drugs 7 years prior, then you're still eligible as a natural athlete. I see the limitations of that. So my intention when it comes to a future promotion, and obviously I would want a higher cash prize. I actually want the title of a Natty King to be
the most I've ever seen for a natural show of the winner is like $5,000.
And actually, they actually just at the Mr. America, which is another competition, they're giving out a $24,000. That just happened.
That ain't shit.
It's not shit
compared to what they win at them Olympias. That ain't shit.
Yeah. So, and you see the disparity between that. $600,000 for the Mr. Olympia winner, and then right now it just happened, $24,000 to the Mr. America winner, which is a natural competition.
For the person that's promoting natural health.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So my intention, and it might happen before I actually have the ability to do it. I doubt it. I feel like this sport and the natural bodybuilding needs us. Otherwise, they're always going to be considered second tier because there's no real driving force to bring it to the same relevancy or even higher than enhanced. But the idea is to actually establish a promotion that's very similar to the Olympics, where you have a really big competition every 4 years, and then over the course of those 4 years, all the people in the pool, they're getting tested regularly. So that by the time it's, the 4th year has arrived, now it's the Natty King competition. Everyone has been tested for the past 4 years, and now they're going into this competition ready to compete.
So is the natural movement even worth it if you guys never end up winning, like first place?
Absolutely. Because, and before you take this, I've kind of accepted the fact that this legacy is beyond my victories. It really is. I want to establish future Natty Kings for generations after me. After I'm dead, I want to create a title and a representation, a symbol of the health and wellness community, of the fitness industry, that we can actually point to and say, this person is the peak of fitness, the peak of their body, mental, and spirit, and that's that representation, the Natty
Can you
King.
repeat that one more time?
Oh yeah, the natural bodybuilding movement. Do you think it's worth it, even though you might never even win first place because you're competing against people that are, on enhanced drugs?
I definitely do. Only because I feel like it's like he said, the losses don't necessarily mean anything. Like it's no, I know that the losses don't necessarily mean anything. It's more about what we're trying to get across, I feel like. And
so you guys aren't really worried about getting first place as much as other bodybuilders are.
Oh, I am. Don't get it fucked up. I am, but it's just like we know what we're up against, and I know that like with some of these dudes, like what we're trying to do, these guys are enhanced, so they're gonna get there a little faster than we are. So if I take an L once or twice, I'm cool with that because I'm still getting to where I gotta go. And not only that, it's like
if you never win first place, are you guys okay with that? What's more important to you guys, to win first place or to be lifelong natural bodybuilders?
No, I'm trying to win first place. That's don't get me wrong.
So is that more important to you than being a natty lifelong?
I feel like they go hand in hand because I'm a lifelong do this shit while winning first places.
But you haven't yet.
Yet.
Sure.
That's cool.
But if you never do,
it ain't gonna be never. Okay. I don't live with those limitations on myself.
Amen.
I don't, because that's the dumbest shit to put on myself. Just because I went against some tough competition, those dudes still have to work as hard as me, or vice versa. I still got to work as hard as them. And don't get me wrong, yeah, I got beat and didn't place in this last match, but every time that I've stepped on stage, I can tell you I'm leaving a wow factor. So I can guarantee you by the time that this shit is all said and done, every time I done stepped on stage, I'm having people to this day talking about the shit that I did the first time I stepped on stage. So I can only imagine what they're talking about, what I did on this last time. And I had the people wowed because of a glove that I put on my hand during a Michael Jackson routine that's wowed them the first time. The second time, I couldn't get on the stage with the glove. So I had to find a way to still grab the attention of the crowd, and I still did it. So these judges are still the same judges that we just went to the Bahamas with. They all interchange. So we might see these judges a year from now at the same show, at a different show. With me doing what I've been doing, I'll eventually get where I'm trying to go, because as long as I can continue to show the judges that I'm doing what they asking me to do after the show, oh, you need to get this or get more chest or whatever, I feel like as long as I'm able to present myself in the best way possible, I'll always be a winner, only because like that's my mindset. And eventually I'm going to get what I'm going for, because every dog has his day.
Sure. But don't you think being natural, it has a limit to it, right? There's only so much muscle you guys are going to be able to put on. It's only so big you're going to be able to get being natural, right? Like, how are you guys going to be able to keep competing against these people that are doing stuff?
Absolutely. And I feel like that's where I actually want to talk about the difference between what bodybuilding is compared to other sports. I'm now at the point where, when I ask myself the question, why is bodybuilding the only sport that promotes drugs or performance-enhancing drugs, whereas every other sport is called a banned substance? I ask myself the question, is bodybuilding actually a sport? And if it's not a sport, then what is it? Maybe it's just a fitness pageant where a bunch of guys and girls hop on stage and they show their best work. They put in months to years of effort and they show off and, oh my God, look at what size and shape and conditioning that I've done and all that shit. To me, it's more of an art than an actual competition. And when you look at the subjectivity of this, what you call sport, then you don't have to worry so much about the judges and the actual things that you're doing in order to show your best physique. Instead, you're more focused on the presentation. What have you done between your last show leading into the next show? Yep. And then if you get on stage and the judges are saying that the guy who's taking enhancements who looks larger deserves to win, fuck the judges, because it's not really about what they think.
It's a perspective sport.
Again, it's a perspective sport. It's an art. It's all about subjectivity. So, and to answer your prior question, my goal is to go down in history as the greatest natural bodybuilder of all time. What does that mean? What do I
greatest physique, men's physique, natural body.
I'm not staying in men's physique.
The greatest natural men's physique, because he has to go through me.
What I really want is the greatest aesthetic physique of all time, and that goes for enhanced or natural.
He got that one. He can have that one.
I want that. That's the title that I want. I want to be remembered as the greatest aesthetic physique, and I don't need a judge to tell me. I don't need a judge to tell me, hey, Sean, you have the greatest aesthetic physique of all time. I just need to do it. And I can see it. I visualize that physique in my future, and all I have to do is walk to it. All I have to do is train to it. And as long as I can reach that and see it in the mirror, nobody can tell me that I'm not the Natty King.
Well, you say you don't need a judge to tell you that, but you kind of do in order to get that number one. You know? So for you, it's not as important for you to get a first place badge.
I don't need a judge to tell me that I'm the shit. I already
Well,
am the
you
shit.
do if you want to win first place.
I don't think the same as him on that, because, I like the mentality. Like, I don't need a motherfucker to tell me, but I'm trying to slap motherfuckers in their face for what I'm doing.
You want to join Power Slap?
I got my homeboy Isaiah that just won out in Abu Dhabi. Shout out to my boy Isaiah. But nah, I'm trying to slap motherfuckers in their face with this shit. So to be in the back of the shadows and still getting 4th and 5th place at these PED tested fucking shows, that's not some shit. I don't give a fuck about us being natural and trying to put on this fucking this wave of trying to put a spotlight on naturals. The only way I feel like we are ever going to be accomplished in doing what we're doing is smacking these motherfuckers in their mouth and winning first place. If I ain't on stage with a first place trophy strutting my shit, because after I win that first place, you know what they're going to do? Now that's all they want to talk about is if he really is natural or not. That's where we win. I don't give a fuck about being 3rd, 4th, 5th. Fuck all that. I ain't never needed nobody to tell me that I'm the shit. And I don't need it now. But winning first place means, nigga, I am the shit. And it'll show motherfuckers who I am. That's what I'm trying to do. Fuck.
Amen.
Fury, so let's go back to you for a second here. Mm-hmm. You don't really care about winning first place more than being a long life natural. If you're competing against other people, right? Yeah. And you're 2nd place, 3rd place, 4th place, that's okay with you.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. In the past year that I've acclimated myself to this sport and I have given myself to the passion. It was a passion that I never really discovered up until this year. The reason being, it's 2 reasons. When bodybuilding was around, when I was a high schooler, I always liked training. I always liked, perfecting my physique. However, the top bodybuilders were enhanced. You had Ronnie Coleman and then you had Jay Cutler when I was in high school. And I would see those physiques and I'm not going to say I was appalled, but I know I never wanted to look like them. I had no interest in looking like them.
Can't even wipe their ass.
And check this out. Like, my ultimate goal is to be a movie star. So you think I want to get to Ronnie Coleman's physique and then end up being in some like dramatic film, acting my ass off, looking like fucking the Hulk? That doesn't work for me. So I've always stayed true to myself. And when I discovered the vacancy that was within the natural bodybuilding circuit, I said, I'm going to fill that vacancy. So to answer your question, my goal is the title of the greatest natty of all time. And in order to do that, I have to beat other naturals. I am not concerned about beating enhanced bodybuilders because that's not the thing that I'm looking to do. I'm looking to go down in history as that guy, not the greatest bodybuilder, the greatest natural bodybuilder. So that's all I have to worry about.
So this is where I feel like you guys differ, right? Mm-hmm. You want to beat everybody. You want to beat you want to beat natural guys. You want to beat everybody.
Natural guys they're lame. Natural guys are lame. Look at the motherfucker Kendall Richmond crying on his fucking page about a loss he just took. He disappointed people. That's lame-o shit. I'm not trying to beat a bunch of motherfuckers who ain't never tried to put a spotlight on themselves. The fuck? The fuck? Nigga, that's goofy as fuck, bro. Just for you to sit here and say you want to beat people that can't even help themselves. I'm trying to beat motherfuckers that's really that have a spotlight and don't deserve it.
So
like who?
Shit. Anybody that's on an NPC stage, that's PEDs, that feel like they better than a natural. Anybody. I can't name a name.
So you truly believe that you're gonna beat
I definitely do.
people that are enhanced.
I definitely do, and I know it's possible. I know it's possible.
Has that ever happened?
Yes, I know. I can shit. I do name. Does Wix have his pro card or no?
He does.
Wix has his pro card.
You guys don't have your pro cards?
No, not yet. I just met another dude. I forgot. You know the guy's name? I just sent you the page.
I can't remember.
One at Ben Weeders last year. He's in men's physique. There's several dudes that have pro cards in men's physique, and they didn't get their own NPC shows. All of those guys are not going to natural shows and getting their NPC cards. Maybe a few of them are getting their pro card. Maybe a few of them, but not all of them. And I want to be with the ones that are going to them shows that are not regulated, beating those guys, because if we're trying to really bring a movement to this, and whether I'm going to be the best natural or not, how are you going to be the best natural some shit when again, they don't have a spotlight. So how you gonna be talked about? How you gonna be talked about? Nigga, there ain't nobody talking about no fucking naturals. But you want to beat naturals. How the fuck you gonna do that? Who's talking about Kendall? Nobody. Who's talking about the nigga that just beat him? Nobody. So how are you gonna bring a spotlight to what the fuck we got going on? Want to beat them lame ass niggas?
Better promotion. Just needs better promotion.
Yeah, why don't they have a spotlight?
Because they.
And how are you guys going to change that for yourselves to get a spotlight?
That's why I keep saying beating them to give us the spotlight. How are we going to garnish a spotlight from motherfuckers that don't have one? We have to beat the people that have a spotlight so they start seeing, oh, there is a lane over there for them naturals. Now they have to turn that spotlight this way just a little bit. It might be on them motherfuckers still, but now we're sharing that spotlight. I'm not intrigued with beating motherfuckers that ain't in the same lane as me. Because to be honest with you, these naturals that I've seen, they don't even match or compare to the condition that I'm able to get.
That's true.
So for a motherfucker to think that I want to hop on stage with a motherfucker that looks like he still can be in a phase of cutting, I'm not intrigued by that. I'm sorry, I'm not.
So do you guys think that this perception of natural bodybuilding is an uphill battle, like a losing uphill battle for you guys?
It's one that I've took on greatly when I first started understanding what we got going on. Like I said, when we went to this Bahamas shit, I knew this shit wasn't gonna be easy. Shit, but I ain't never once in my head since we got there, when we were looking at people that I had to go against, I never once in my head say that them motherfuckers ever looked better than me. And I could have stopped. Okay, yeah, he has size on me. But my mentality, there ain't a motherfucker on this earth better than me. So, yeah, I have to go against you on this stage, and I'm leaving it up to the judges to choose me. Okay, now watch this. Ask what I asked my homeboy D. Will the last few days. I am going to be the most undeniable motherfucker the next time I step on stage. What did I tell you? If I don't come, if 2025 don't go away the way I wanted to, I'm not stepping on stage in November. Because when I come out, I'm going to make sure that a motherfucker cannot deny me. I don't give a fuck who's on stage with me. I'm the most undeniable motherfucker on that stage that you I don't give a conditioning, posing, as far as the size. You ain't going to be able to deny me. So I wouldn't give a fuck about being on the stage with a PD, a natural. The next time I peel out, I promise you, I'm coming for it all. I promise you that. And I promise you that.
We'll see. I mean, right? When's the next time you compete?
Plan is November at the Ben Weeders Natural 2025 in November. But like I said, if I don't have, or I don't feel like I've gained what I'm trying to gain, I'm gonna wait another year and I'm gonna go back into another bulk and I'm gonna go to the show. If he plans on still going to the show, I'm gonna go to the show with him to observe and see what I got to go against. But my plan when I peel out this next time, because I see it even on this stage, like I can show pictures right now. Like I can put out pictures, bro. As far as the conditioning, motherfuckers can't match me there. Like, where is this shit at, bro?
While you look at that, do you guys think people even care about, people in this industry even care about Natty or people that are enhanced, or they just want to see the best physique on stage?
Yeah, so I would say that within the actual industry, most people are actually kind of at the same level or like the same mindset where, kind of to your point, they just want to see really good physiques, right? The problem is that people looking into the industry, that's where it gets very muddy as to, oh, well, if that guy looks good, then he must be on steroids. And that's where I actually developed this whole motivation to tell this story and to create this movement, is because the outside people, like the audience, they have conditioned themselves to believe that any great physique, they're using steroids. And that is a very limiting belief that I am looking to undo.
Yeah. And how do you guys respond to those people that look at natural bodybuilding lesser than people that are enhanced?
It's fucked. It's fucked. And it's a shame. Even people within the actual sport, at the last show that we were at, there was this coach in the backstage, and he was saying that he doesn't go to natural shows. He doesn't take natural bodybuilding seriously because the athletes themselves aren't taking bodybuilding seriously.
The white guy you were back there with, right?
Yeah,
with the floor zone. I know exactly.
Okay, so then people might think you guys aren't even taking this seriously.
Yeah.
See, but that's again, what did he say? He doesn't go to natural shows.
Because he doesn't take those guys serious.
So where are we at? So that's why I feel like where we're at, it shows that we're trying to take this shit serious and put a spotlight where it doesn't have one.
Me personally, and I totally love where Valley's mindset is. That's what has taken us to those shows, those enhanced shows. Me personally, I don't really care how other people think. My job is to change how a person
But see,
thinks.
that's the thing. You have to kind of care what a person thinks because those are the people that's going to choose, not the judges. You can't call yourself the Natty King. The people do.
It's appointed, yeah.
So you beating just natural guys is not appealing because those guys are lame.
That's
So
not,
you're saying you guys are lame?
The guys that are in that federation that are not trying to bring a spotlight to themselves, yeah, they're lame, not me. Because I know what I'm trying to do.
it's how it's being done, So, for instance, if you take, let's say, WNBF, which is the biggest natural bodybuilding federation, NPC and IFBB, they're starting to prioritize natural shows much more. But again, up into 2024, the biggest contest prize for winning as a natural bodybuilder is $24,000, and that just happened within like the past week. Prior to then,
It's 5,000.
Yeah, it was like
3,000.
5,000. Okay. So that's the issue with natural bodybuilding is that when bodybuilding first started and that you moved into the golden era and you got Arnold Schwarzenegger, steroids became ingrained as part of the culture of bodybuilding. What were you going to say?
Because the reason I feel like I get what you're saying as far as like that, but you keep asking them to bring money to us. We don't get them to bring money to us by beating natural motherfuckers that they're just here. Take 3,000 and be happy with it. We're not gonna get more money by beating niggas that are just cool with taking 3,000.
Of course.
We gotta go beat the motherfuckers that's getting that fat check. And then once we show that we are comparable to this stage, now I'm demanding a fat check. Bring that money.
Okay.
Bring that money.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So what's happening is, and we have this conversation all the time. He's looking at this from the perspective of an athlete, and he is an athlete, and he is thinking like, I want to be competitive against athletes. I don't care if they're natural or enhanced. I'm thinking of it from the perspective of a promoter and a producer. And right now there is a vacancy for a show or a promotion that actually brings natural bodybuilding to the same equivalency. We can ignore enhanced bodybuilders if we actually execute on a better promotion that actually has a cash value equivalency to Mr. Olympia and does promotes the athletes in a better way. Right now, and if you can track, it's not just bodybuilding, it's any sport. We care about the stars within the sport. All right, so if Michael Jordan isn't in the NBA, we're still looking for someone to represent the sport. We're always looking for people to admire and chase after. We don't have to worry if they're natural or not. If Arnold Schwarzenegger was not in the game, bodybuilding would not be where it is. That's where we come in. We don't have to compete against enhanced athletes in order to blow it up. We just have to be stars. And my job is to promote stars. It can be bodybuilding. It can be something else. I could be focusing on fucking bowling. I just need to find one star athlete in bowling and then blow up the sport of bowling. That's my job. That's what I do as a producer. I tell stories. So the final story, yes, I want to be the greatest of all time, but what I really want to do is actually create opportunities for other people to be the greatest of all time.
I'm gonna create opportunities by beating people's ass in this shit.
Which is fair.
That's like,
and I love it.
That's like if Mayweather ever said, "Oh yeah, I want to create opportunities for other boxers, but I don't give a fuck if I win or not. I'm just going to get my head boxed in."
But that's different.
How the fuck is he creating lane for another motherfucker?
That's different though, because that's an objective sport.
This is objective too.
No, this is not. This sport is not objective. It's very subjective. You go into a boxing ring, you either win or you lose. You get knocked out or you do the knocking out.
That's not what we're doing here.
That is an objective sport. When it comes to bodybuilding, you are giving it up to the judges. You have no fucking choice but to let the judges decide if you are good enough compared to other people. Me personally, I don't fuck with that.
I don't think that's true because just like when Chris Bump said at this Prague the
Prague Pro.
He was second place. Everybody can see it. So it's like you can tell when a person won the show. Be undeniable.
I agree.
What I've been saying. So that's not true. What you just said it's not true to me.
Well, I do agree with Valley of it being an objective thing because you subjective, not objective, because you're leaving it to the judges to decide. There's no factual way to figure out who's an actual winner.
Yeah.
It's just about the judges seeing and who they think subjectively has a better physique.
And when you actually look at the history of bodybuilding, you can even look at any specific year, like take 1970, if I'm not mistaken, when Arnold Schwarzenegger decided to return back to the sport after taking about 5 years off.
Should have lost.
And a lot of people, it is pretty much undeniable that he should not have won that year. But because he's Arnold Schwarzenegger and he's in Hollywood and he's Joe Weider's boy, he got the 6th or the 7th Mr. Olympia that year. And to me, it's like, well, there you go. That's the fallacy of this subjective sport. It's like, and again, it's like Dorian Yates. Dorian Yates has never been my favorite Mr. Olympia. He's a 6-time champion, and I've never really been that big of a fan of his physique. There are other individuals that his contemporaries, such as Sean Ray, such as Flex Wheeler, who, in my opinion, had a better physique overall so far as size, shape, and conditioning. Yet Dorian Yates beat them consistently. Now, should I say that Sean Ray and Flex Wheeler aren't superior to Dorian Yates because the judges are saying that they're not? No, it's an opinionated sport. Again, it's like that's how I'm looking at it. I don't, it's like first place. It's what is it? That's just how I feel about it, though.
So let's go back to the last competition
That's
you guys
loser
had.
mentality.
Maybe.
That's loser shit. I don't give a fuck how you take it. That's loser shit.
Okay, well, let's go back to the last competition you guys had, right? Mm-hmm. What place did you get, Valley?
I didn't place.
Well, so what does that mean?
I didn't place.
At all?
No.
How many places are there?
Shit, 5.
5
top
places.
5. I didn't come in the top 5.
Why do you think that was?
Shit, I was beat by size.
By size? Why do you think that they were just bigger than you?
It was one of the guys.
Like bigger as in like taller or like just bigger bodies?
I know for a fact that there was 2 other guys on the stage with me that were natural, which was my boy D Wilt and a little
over there right now,
and a little Asian kid that was to my left. Other than that, every dude that was doing the classic physique were all enhanced. And besides my boy D Wilt, he's been doing this shit for I want to say 2 years, 3 years now. So he has a little mass. He's natural. He has an extra mass to stand next to these dudes, and on top of it, his legs are already at pro status. So that's the difference. This guy, he came in second. He's natural, so it's possible. He should have won the show. To really be honest, he should have won the show.
That's your opinion. That's
everybody's opinion because the judges that gave him the bullshit feedback said that his stomach was bulged out. But we can go back and look at these photos.
That's my point. Like what he's describing is my point. But judges.
But again, I can ask my boy how he feels about it, and if he had to choose between how Sean's take is on it and my takes on it, I can guarantee he'll go with my take. I can guarantee you he'll take my take.
Again,
but the judges,
that don't mean that this is what the sports do. We have referees in the NBA. We got referees in NFL.
The judges didn't choose him to win, though.
It don't matter. Shit, the referees.
But it does matter, though.
No, it ain't. It don't.
Who won?
It don't.
Who won?
The other guy did. That don't mean shit.
Does that mean he gets a pro card?
Who?
Like whoever wins?
Yeah.
Okay, so he got a pro card.
He did.
Because the judges chose him to get a pro.
That's
pro
fine.
Card. Right.
That's fine, and that doesn't mean that we won't get one.
But to you, he didn't win.
Who? The guy? Yeah, he won. Obviously he did win, but he didn't deserve to win. Fuck no, he didn't deserve to win. Just the point I'm trying to make too. I can put this shit in any sport. Fuck you talking about? Mayweather didn't win every fucking fight that he had. He paid for him. So let's be real. It's like the same shit. That's a subjective sport.
Yeah. Well, okay. All right.
We can go to all of this shit.
I love it.
The NFL. I'm a Saints fan. In 2017, we lost to the Los Angeles Rams, and we shouldn't have fucking lost. There was a penalty where a guy caught the ball, and it was a penalty. If you know football, you should know what I'm talking about. You know, you in LA, so you know what the fuck I'm talking about. So that right there, that's a subjective. All these sports are subjective because if I got money behind this, you don't think these fucking owners are telling them, "Oh yeah, that's a penalty. Call that a play."
So then, if you're,
I don't believe that any sport in this fucking world, if it's billions behind it, you just letting them motherfucker go play out shit. It's not happening.
Okay, so since with that said, right? You're kind of saying it's kind of rigged. That it's like, then how do you expect to win if it's rigged all the time?
Being undeniable. That's how.
Yeah, but even if it's rigged.
If I'm undeniable, I don't give a fuck. Let me tell you something.
But you're saying that guy doesn't deserve to win, right?
He didn't deserve to win.
Okay, so then let's say you are undeniable, but let's say someone doesn't think you deserve to win.
People have rioted in the past, like when Franco Colombo won.
So let me tell you something. Like I'm gonna
throwing shit up on stage.
I'm gonna have a tribe like that behind me. Because when I do pull out this next time, I guarantee you, I'm coming for what I say I'm coming for.
So if you don't win, you're gonna riot.
Yeah.
and again, like that's not unheard of. And like you say, and Valley, you make a really great point. When it comes to any sport, if you got refs, you got fucking judges.
It's all subjective,
it's
bro.
All fucked. It's all
subjective.
Which is why I say focus on your personal best. And again, this is my narrative. This is my fucking narrative. If I want to be the Natty King, the only way I lose is if I fail myself.
I can respect that.
That's the only way I lose.
Now that I can respect that, I'm with self. I can respect that.
Yeah.
But I'm still trying to slap motherfuckers in their face at the same time.
I agree with that.
Sure.
I agree with that.
Because it makes me feel good at the end of the day.
No, and I respect that you guys, are doing this for yourselves as well. But you guys also want to win pro card. You guys also want to have that first place. Mm-hmm. But like you're saying, if it's like politics involved and there's other people that are involved and it's very subjective, and you do want to be undeniable. But what if they just don't choose you?
I'm gonna just say it like this.
This is
okay,
just
me growing up in America, I'm black, right? I can sit here and say that shit. Anybody in my neighborhood where I grew up from, we all sit here and say that we chilling and smoking, drinking or whatever, and we'll sit there and say, "Oh yeah, man, the way this government set up, they got niggas held down and blah 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 blah. They just holding us back and they doing this." We already know that that's happening. What the fuck are you gonna do to actually get around that? So there's a way around all of this shit. So if I'm not the winner tonight or the next night or whatever, all I gotta do is go figure out why I'm not winning. But I can always come out with an outcome on why I'm not, and then figure out how to get there. You don't just stay down all the time, unless you want to. I'm not the kind of person that does that though. So you can tell me that I didn't win tonight, but I take every loss that I've ever had in my life as a lesson. I don't take them as an L. So it's always something that you can learn from it. So if I can learn from anything that I've ever experienced or been through in my life, I'm actually winning. So I ain't never gonna be a loser because even like me just telling you I didn't place.
That's subjective.
That's cool. That's cool, but that's to myself.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like that's just me knowing like who I am and who I truly believe that I am gonna become. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really worried about the subjectivity of the sport and what it's to bring to us, because at the end of the day, when you have a persona like I have, this charisma and the character and everything that I can bring, that's why I'm gonna be the guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't get me wrong.
They don't judge on charisma.
I wouldn't give a fuck what you do. Right? That's not the truth.
They kind of do.
When I'm telling y'all how on that motherfucking stage, and this motherfuckers, I have judges still to this. I can pull up shit right now. I had judges from the Bahamas show that I just went to asking me if I was coming to the show, and I didn't even place. They were actually eager to know if I was even coming.
Yeah, and
so
to add on
that
to
right
that,
there is enough for me. Like to know.
Did you compete in that too?
Yeah.
What place did you get?
I got third in my class.
You got third in your class.
Yeah.
Okay, so then
No, you got first in your class and you got third in the overall. You need to stop saying that, because even let me rephrase that too. No, you did.
I got third in my class at the Bahamas show.
You have to get first place to actually get to the overall.
I didn't get to the overall. I got third.
Okay, well that's right then. In that,
let's lay down some facts here.
In the first show you did say something wrong.
Yeah, I know. But
in the first show he did, because he did say that he had got second in his overall.
Yeah.
Okay, let's straighten things out then. So the last show you were on, you got third place
in my class. Yes,
third place in your class. Mm-hmm. And first and second place, were they enhanced or Natty?
First was definitely enhanced. I saw him backstage, and I remember thinking as soon as I saw him, I'm like, oh, he's gonna like. Objectively speaking, I don't know how I can beat that guy unless he's terrible at posing. That was a thought that I have. I don't know.
So if you go up against that guy again the next time, you're gonna be like, well,
he's gonna beat me.
He's gonna beat me.
See, I feel like that's loser shit. I ain't gonna never walk into a motherfucking room and tell a motherfucker like because even if a person looks good, you still gotta get up on that motherfucking stage and pose next to me, nigga.
Yeah.
The fuck are you talking about?
So you didn't even place, right?
No.
And there's for sure, and there's five places.
Shit, there's 5 places.
So out of those 5 places, 5 people that placed, do you think they look better than you?
They all look better than me, and that's for
They
a
did?
damn fact. Hell yeah, they did.
Well, you're just saying the first place did not deserve to win.
Not. They look better than me. He didn't deserve to beat my homeboy. My homie looked better than me.
Okay, well, we're not talking about your homeboy. We're talking about you, right? You're just saying he didn't deserve to be, I guess, your homeboy. But we're talking about you. So those 5 people, you're saying that deserve to win.
The guy that won, he deserved to beat me.
Okay,
but damn sure. But
and what about all those other people that were placed?
They had me by size. They had me by like 5 pounds of size.
Okay.
As far as conditioning, no. They had a little bit more muscle than me. I'm cool with that.
Okay.
You know,
So you're saying they do deserve to win those places, depending on you, like you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I give them that.
And were they enhanced or not? What do you think?
Ones that won, oh yeah, they were every single one of them except for one, Devontae Wilshire.
Over there.
Okay.
Except for one, that's the second place winner right there. And like I said, like I ain't just saying it because he's my homeboy, bro. I can pull up pictures and I can show you the shit that they were saying about.
So you guys are in the same class.
Yeah, I competed against him.
And he beat you.
Yeah.
So do you think you could beat him next time?
I definitely feel like I can beat him next time. The fuck?
See, this is what it's all about.
That's all we brought his ass.
Healthy competition.
What's crazy is shit. That's the whole reason. That's the whole reason I did the show. We were supposed to do the Ben Weezer Natural this year. The show that actually ended last Saturday.
How would you say you could maybe just not even beat him, but beat all these other people when they're obviously gonna work just as hard, if not harder?
You still gotta present that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, but yeah, they're gonna present that too. Like, right? They're.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
Every one of these bodybuilders cheat in some kind of way.
Do you cheat?
I sure do.
How do you cheat?
Meal plan and shit. Like, as far as the workouts, I'm always in that.
Well, I don't think that's cheating, right? I don't think that's cheating.
No, because we're supposed to be on a strict ass diet. So if you're doing anything outside of your diet, you're cheating, and you're doing anything. And so when I tell you, if you're cheating a little bit more than I am, then you lost.
Oh, got you. I thought you meant cheating to win.
Cheating is differently.
Yeah,
like if you're fucking up on your diet, you're fucking yourself up because
I just misunderstood
because
the cheating
the way my diet and the way my body is set up, like I can't go into a 6-week cut like a lot of these dudes.
Why
because
not?
I lose too much fat and too much extra shit too fast.
Lean tissue.
And too fast.
Unless you get on.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So with that being said, like I'll be on like a 12 to 8 week cut on this next one because it's too much. So
with that case, how do you expect to beat all these other guys?
Work.
Yeah, but you're saying you can't do that because you're gonna lose so much. You can't go on that strict.
No, that's not. Well, go ahead. What you about to say?
I was gonna say it's natural bodybuilding is an entirely different strategy, and the 3 of us, me, Valley, and Coach, we are learning exactly what's required in order to peak a natural physique as opposed to an enhanced physique. Because there are different rules. You have to eat differently. You have to train differently. You have to do cardio differently. And heading into peak week and before you hop on show, there's all like a lot of different nuanced.
Water comes out. Salt is going. All types of shit. So it's like, and then like like he says, with our bodies being natural and different, it's like. We're doing something with our coach who's only had maybe I don't know, but say 5, a handful of natural athletes. So he's learning everything with us, but he's done an amazing job thus far. But the more we learn with him, the better we're going to get. So that's why I'm not worried about shit at all.
And even on top of that, and this is the beauty of the sport, is that even within natural bodybuilders, Valley's journey to his peak physique. And, we peak ourselves every single time that we step on stage. That's the whole purpose of competing. But his prime peak physique is however long that is for him. It's a different journey than mine. Like, he has to do different things in order to reach his destination than I do. And that applies to every single natural bodybuilder. And kind of enhanced, but we focus less on them because, they got their little assistants that I don't really have much of a care for.
Damn. All right, let's talk about your actual physiques, right?
And when he says assistants, just to be clear, not like that. When he just to be clear, they still have to work.
Of course,
but
it's just a different game.
No, it definitely is. But it's like some people think just because you get on steroids that you're gonna look like a Ronnie Coleman or a Jay Cutler, and that's not true. You still definitely have to work. So it's like, yeah, I feel like we definitely both feel like, you know, it's like it's a cheat code, you know, because you get into a destination a little bit faster in a sense.
To me, it's an entirely different fucking thing.
It is.
It really is. You know, natural bodybuilding and enhanced bodybuilding are two separate fucking things.
So then why do you guys try to compete against those people?
Data. For me, it's data. And for me, it's perspective. So when I continue to make this documentary, which is supposed to be finished within the next 3 or 4 years, when we show what we did and we show that we competed against enhanced athletes and we competed against naturals, now as an audience member, you have that information. Okay, now I know the distinction between an enhanced athlete and a natural athlete. So it's just fucking information. We're just providing perspective, in my opinion.
Okay, well, let's talk about your guys' physiques.
Yes.
You guys' physiques are incredible, right?
Oh, yeah.
You guys look freaking like you guys are not natty. No, I will say you have like a huge your shoulders are crazy. Like, so one thing I've noticed when you're posing, right? I've seen like in your stomach you have like your abs. I see a little bit of like a few
Dents, like bumps.
Like a bump.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what is that?
That's a great question. Great question. I have no idea.
You have no idea.
I feel like those are hernias.
That's what I think I
Because
remember.
I've seen some people that are in heads that have those things, right?
Yeah.
Or some UFC fighters
It's
that
unrelated.
have done
Unrelated.
things.
Yeah.
Where you like inject stuff, right? So I'm just saying, like, what is that?
Great question. First time I ever saw that on somebody else besides me, it was a WWE wrestler, and I was like, "Hey, he's got the same thing." I've seen it on natural bodybuilders. I see it on myself all the time. The first time I got it, I was around 12 or 13. I was in the basement. I remember this day. Yeah. I was doing dumbbell chest press, right?
It's a hernia.
Yeah, I think it is a hernia.
It's a hernia.
So after I finish a set of dumbbell chest press around like 12 or 13, I go to sit up. I sit up really stupid, but like, so the dumbbells are here, and then I go to sit up, and I felt like a little stretch. Like
That was definitely a hernia.
thing. And then ever since then, that was the first one, and that's the most prominent one. So like now whenever I flex, it pops out. And then like I have
That's a
3
hernia.
more, so I have a total of 4. And you know, I was like, to Valley's calling them a hernia. I'm pretty sure that they're hernias.
Those are definitely hernias.
But yeah, no, that's what they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have anything like that?
Not everyone gets them.
Yeah.
You know. But like I learned to love it.
Thankfully, shit. It's funny because I always thought I had a hernia when I was growing up.
And you know, it's funny that you
No.
mentioned that. Because like my whole thing is like I look at this as an artist, and like I've adapted the mindset of an athlete thanks to Valley and thanks to this mission. But at my core, I'm an artist, and like my whole art project is to present a perfect person. So far as physically, mentally, and spiritually, I want to present a perfect person and show that over the course of my lifetime. And when you have these things, I see that and I'm like, oh man, that kind of messes up the perfection of it. But you just got to get over it. You got to.
So you've had that for a long time then, since you were a kid.
Since the first one was 12 or 13, and then they developed more over time. It's probably because I trained so hard, you know.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to bring that up and kind of get your take on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's probably some other people wondering.
No, people wonder all the time. They always ask me questions. Yeah.
Sure, I'm sure. Yeah, you know, especially when you're saying you're natural and that's your whole movement, right? People try to look at certain things and really judge your body, man. Because you know, most of your posts are shirtless, showcasing your physique.
And you know, to your point, Zeus, when I'm at my peak, like I'm about to head into a show, I'll see a photo of myself. I'll go, yo, you're natural. The fuck you?
Do you question yourself?
Yeah, just like Josh. It's like I'll be looking at myself when like I'm at my peak. I'm like, yo, dude, like what's going on here, man?
So you understand what people?
100%. But that's the point. That's the point. You guys have fucked up. The industry has failed you guys because you guys believe that any great physique, oh, you must be taking some shit. You guys don't understand that there are peak genetics out there.
Yeah,
I'll
say this:
really weird.
if I show your physique to, let's say, 10 people within the industry, they'll probably say you're enhanced.
Maybe
They'll probably think that
within the industry,
just from showing a couple of pictures of you, like
And that's why we embarked on this, because it's like, for one, I wouldn't have started this whole thing. I wouldn't have hopped on this podcast for the second time saying I'm aiming to be the greatest of all time if I didn't think I could do it. I would not be saying that shit, because then I would get to the end of the career and I didn't do it. I was like, all right, well, I look like an asshole now. So like, there you go. And for two, what does the greatest natural bodybuilder look like? What does he look like? You're looking at him. So like that's what he looks like.
The greatest natural men's physique.
Okay, well,
Men's physique.
has there been a natural bodybuilder that's won first place in the competition?
There's been a lot of them, but they ain't really.
So
we
then
don't
how
know
can you
the-
say that you're the best natural bodybuilder?
Can you name them?
I can.
All right,
I know
then.
them.
Who the fuck is he?
And
Well, I'm not really in that world,
Yeah,
right?
But you know Ronnie Coleman, right?
Yeah.
You know Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Yeah.
Jay Cutler,
Yeah.
Phil Heath.
Yeah.
Why you don't know one natural?
I
that's
just
the
don't
problem.
know, but you guys do, right? Give me a name.
Babacar. Babacar, he's like, oh man, he's competition.
See, and I'm gonna be honest with you. He only know about the nigga because he researched that shit.
Yeah, I have to do the research.
Name a nigga that you can just off the top of your head. Name a natural that you ain't researched, nigga.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole point.
You can't.
That's the
it's
whole
a
point.
problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
There's this one individual who's making a lot of buzz. Swole Ricketts. Swole Ricketts. I'm
Shout out
coming for
my
you.
boy. Yeah.
Every time I post a video on TikTok about how I aim to be the greatest, his name gets mentioned. Like his followers, they say like, oh, you want to be the Natty King? Well, I'm pretty sure Swole's already got that crown. Motherfucker, enjoy this time. Enjoy your time in class.
Let him know you got to go through me first before you get to him, though.
Congratulations on getting your pro card. Enjoy this time being the guy because once I get to classic physique, I'm taking you. I'm taking you down. You are a mark, and I will get to keep this shit for history. You get a couple years. I get history.
So this guy,
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Swole. He ain't doing too much noise.
He's a natural bodybuilder?
Yes.
And
He just won his pro card at Ben Weeder's Natural last weekend.
did he compete against you guys or
No.
No, he was at Ben Weeder's, and that's another thing.
So okay, hold on. So this guy, he's a natural bodybuilder, and he won his pro card. He won like what, first place?
yes, he won
And
overall.
he was competing against enhanced
Naturals.
guys.
All
No,
naturals.
this is all natural.
All naturals.
So you're saying that
It's a little lame.
he's lame.
I don't,
He didn't really. There was nobody on the stage that like his conditioning, like not even to knock him. Like I fuck with Soul, but even his conditioning was
It
not.
could be improved.
It could like.
But here's
it's not
here's
even-
and again, I'm going back to my argument about like it's about stars within any sport.
Oh, and
all right?
he's a star.
And Swole Ricketts is a star. There are better natural bodybuilders than him. He only just got his pro card, so he's just starting out in his career. Okay, but more people know Swole Ricketts because,
Than
like
anybody else.
I said, when I post on TikTok and I say I'm going to be the greatest of all time, his fucking followers are the one hopping on saying, "Oh, but Swole's got you beat. You can't be the Natty King if Swole's in fucking the race." There are people superior to Swole, yet Swole's the one who's getting name dropped. You get what I'm saying? So again, it's about star athletes. And so far as me being a star athlete, I'm looking to compete against other stars. Valley's one of them. Swole is another one. Josh Minoe is another one. So the final goal, so far as my career is concerned,
Josh Minoy, I know him. I've met him a couple times, or I
great.
met him one time at Zoo Culture. Is he natural?
yes, he's great. Love guy.
He's natural.
So the way that we really promote the sport and actually bring it to the same level of prominence is we collect all these stars, the Swole Ricketts, the Valley Muscles, the Sean Furies, the Josh Minoes, Shizzy's another one, and we get them all on the same stage. So now we have a level of recognition of these names, and they're competing for the top title of who is the best. Fucking D-Well over there. I see him being on that stage as well. And once we actually bring that show, because that's what it really is, because it's not really a sport, it's more of a show. It's a spectacle, it's a performance, it's a fucking event. We bring that event to the general public, and then we get to decide who really is the best. All these other top natural athletes that, like Valley said, we don't know the names of, they're just competing basically in a vacuum, in like an outer space, because they're not being promoted correctly. So like that's again where we come in.
Bodybuilding like a big ass Rolling Loud concert. It's really hard. Everybody coming to see motherfuckers perform.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Valley, so how are you planning to compete against these bigger guys? Like, what do you have to do as a natural bodybuilder to be able to compete against your boy over here and these other guys that are just bigger than you? And it kind of seems that that's how they're beating you, right? Because they're bigger.
I mean, shit, there be people on that stage that look bigger than C-Bum,
Shit.
but they don't beat them.
It's about the whole thing. It's the whole package. So you got size, shape, conditioning. The reason that Valley did so well at the first show was because his conditioning was so far above everyone else's that it was hard to ignore.
You couldn't ignore me.
And I actually made
The first show, not this past one.
Yeah, and I made the assessment. And this is like high level shit. So this is for anyone who like has an aspiration of being a bodybuilder, specifically a natural bodybuilder. When we headed into this second show, we only had 5 months to prepare from our last show. The first show was in June. The second show was in November. And we, as like a team, so far as my coach, Valley, and myself, we all thought, okay, we have 5 months. So we put ourselves on a slight surplus with the intention to put on as much mass as possible, even though it's not a proper bulk, because a proper bulk should be at least 8 months, if not longer. So now we're doing a 5-month bulk. We're trying to maintain as much like lean tissue as possible, but not put on a lot of fat. So that by the time that we're actually going into the show in November, he is not as conditioned as he was at the first show because it was a different priority. We were trying to put more size on and we sacrificed conditioning. And as a result, it wasn't exactly where it was supposed to be.
So what are you guys doing now to be a better version of you guys 6 months from now?
Bulk.
So you guys are in a bulking season right now?
Hell yeah.
Just gonna go and like go down on some turkey, mashed potatoes, and what's a bulk like for you guys? Do you guys still try to keep it clean, or you guys whatever?
I mean, I am for the most part, but it's kind of hard for me because I have this crazy ass metabolism.
Oh man, life is so cruel, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man, crazy metabolism. Life sucks. Damn it.
I'm saying that because I have a problem with eating whatever I want. And
sounds like you don't have a problem with that.
He doesn't have an appetite.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't have an appetite.
Those
so that's
two burgers
like
that he ate, like that was tough for him.
I don't know, man. Every time you've been in here, you've been with quite an appetite.
But that's different because it'd be like on prep. But like when I ain't on prep, bro, like I really, it's hard for me to want to eat. Like when I'm eating on prep, it's like I'm eating because I know I have to, because I have a goal that I'm trying to chase. But right now, like I ain't made food since our show's been over, and that's, you're gonna ask him. I'm always got some food. I'm carrying food everywhere we go, and it's just like right now, just
we should get some food after this.
Yeah, that's the plan. I know we on the bulk and shit right now, so it's like as long as I eat within the parameters of my meal plan and shit like that.
So you're on a meal plan right now?
Yeah, I'm on.
Even though you're bulking?
Yeah, because it's just a surplus bulk, so it's like just rice, chicken, and shit like that.
Do you guys party? Do you guys go out? Do you guys enjoy your life a little bit?
I love life, but I am married to my work, and I'm so grateful that I've discovered this. I've always wanted to be a filmmaker. I've always wanted to be a storyteller, and I didn't find the opportunity to actually execute on a story until fucking Valley came into my life. This project came into my life, and I'm like, okay, now I'm fully immersed. So everything, like if you're not adding to the story, I really have no use for you. So far as people, so far as anything, I don't really want you around unless you're adding value, or you can be a stress reliever. So, I think you know what I mean by that.
So, there's like two choices that you get to make when you growing up, and you either get to party when you in your 20s and then work hard and bust your ass for in your 30s so you can try to get some shit a little later in your 40s. Or you can bust your ass in your 20s and live life in your 30s. It was a little opposite. It was the first one for me. So I was partying all through the 20s, and now it's time to get to work so we can get somewhere in these 30s.
Yeah, but every once in a while, don't you guys want to, go and get loose a little bit? You don't drink at all?
I'll drink every once in a while. Like if I'm out with my family, I'll smoke weed. I don't give a fuck about
Are you high now?
I'm coming down. Definitely coming down.
Do you smoke?
A little bit, recreationally.
Okay. Dude, smoking just gives me the munchies, and I'll eat anything that's in front of me, bro.
But see, that's the thing. Like when I get the munchies,
you don't do that?
I get the munchies. All I'm eating is some sweet shit. I ain't eating no food. Like I don't give a fuck about no real food. I'm gonna go eat some sweets and shit, like a milkshake or some shit. Like
for me, it goes back to, I don't know if you ever seen Pineapple Express.
Yeah.
But in like the first 5 minutes, Seth Rogen's going like, weed makes everything better. It makes sex better. It makes food better. It makes music better. Like that's what weed is for me. It's like an enhancement. Ooh, enhancement.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Are you guys? So does that make you guys? Does that make you guys not natty?
It makes us supernatural. That's from the earth.
shit, that's from Mother Earth.
Okay, so just to like wrap this up,
Yeah.
we've been talking for a while now. Great conversation, guys. So thank you guys for coming again.
Absolutely.
So why do you guys think now is the right time to do this natural movement?
Oh my
Why
God.
now?
The timing is perfect. The timing is so
It couldn't be
perfect.
more perfect, only because I feel like, for one, when we started this journey and he came to me back last November and shot this to me online, there was a vacancy of everything across the board. Like there was no natural shows. There was nothing. Like within the federation that we're doing. Literally a month and a half, 2 months after we met and we started embarking on this journey, the federation that we compete in started saying that they were going to prioritize natural bodybuilding. So it just like put a bigger staple on what we were already doing. So we're like, damn, we're already ahead of the curve. And it's like we kind of like felt like these motherfuckers were trying to copy some shit that we were doing already. Like, damn, they're trying to take our spotlight from us. Like, but it's like that's why I feel like it's time, because now they're not recognizing us at that level that they are in a few years. But the fact that they even have kind of like transitioned to even giving us that little bit of a here's something for you guys, because now they're giving it to where you can get a pass to the Olympia if you win at one of these shows as a pro, which is cool. I think it's cool in a sense where, you gotta put a spotlight, but like he said, it's like, it's cool to a certain extent, because we're gonna go to that show and know that we're not gonna stand a chance against those guys on that stage. And it's like, after I become a pro in this game, I would like there to be a lane for just us pros to be able to do our thing. Because at
just
that point,
with all naturals.
Yes, because that point, I've already done. Don't get me wrong, I'll still compete in the other PED like this. I can, as a pro, I can still compete in pro shows with other PED users. But when it comes to the significance of what an Olympian can do for natural athletes, that's what I feel like we need, because it brings sponsors, it brings more money, and we're all doing, like, don't get me wrong, if a motherfucker's in this sport saying that they're just doing it because they love it, I love it too, but I want money. I'm not, this shit costs too fucking much to just be doing this shit because I love it. Let's be real. Right or wrong?
Absolutely.
I love to work out and I love doing this bodybuilding shit, but it costs entirely too fucking much to just be going to state just to go for nothing. No, I want some money. Yeah. So it's time, and it's been time, because for one, I feel like social media is getting out of hand.
Yeah.
With what they're promoting to these kids. And it's like, at what point do you stop? Mm-hmm. So right now, it's that time. And
just to piggyback off of what Valley just said, I see the future. I feel like we are contributing heavily to that future. And the desired outcome is to have natural bodybuilding take its rightful place at the top of the fitness industry. And I see that happening, and it will only be executed through the use of talented star athletes. And we are representatives of those stars. Swole Ricketts is another guy. I'm still going to kick your ass. Josh Minoy is another person. As long as we have these identifiable individuals who represent the sport correctly, we will surpass enhanced athletes, because we bank on the stars. We don't bank on the enhancements. We're giving too much credit to the steroids.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Oh, one last thing. And how do you guys justify the investment, you guys make? And when you guys kind of go unrecognized.
Oh, we're recognized already.
We're recognized. Hell yeah, man. But I would just say it like this. Scary money don't make money. Mm-hmm. And it's just bottom line. I don't, if you don't know what that means, then shit, go ask your mom or your daddy.
And
it's just self-explanatory. Like, you gotta in anything that you want out of life, you gotta put in a little bit. And whether that's in some money, if you want to have a successful business and get off the floor, you think you just about to go do some shit with minimum resources and not get to where you're trying to go? It don't work like that. I mean, it might for some people, but where I come from, you gotta put everything that you have into your basket to get to where you're trying to go.
And again, to piggyback off of that, the whole message is about self-belief. The contrast to taking steroids because you believe you need to, you're not believing in yourself. And then for the people who are saying, well, you'll never be able to reach the glory as a natural bodybuilder, is because you don't believe that. So if you change your belief, if you invest in yourself, and not in the drugs that you're investing in, then you will reach something. You just have to believe that you can. And that's the whole message.
Yeah.
And that's how we change the world.
Yeah. So you're saying you guys are recognized now in the bodybuilding world?
Absolutely.
Oh, hell yeah.
How much? More so every day.
A lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm shit. We go to.
We're the guys.
We go places now.
Yeah.
People know me. Oh, you're the guy that had the Michael Jackson glove on at your first show. Like, they say that, or like everything that we did with the ground, hitting the ground running, and talking about this movement that we had going on. We go play. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. We don't even talk about it as much as we do in the beginning, because people know every time we come. Oh, that's Sean and Valley. Mm-hmm. Like, we don't have to do as much talking anymore.
And then the master plan, and this is like the big secret, is that I'm tackling this from the perspective of the entertainment industry. So we tell this story effectively, we bring it over to Hollywood, and then we continue telling it in a scripted fashion through the form of television and film. And now everybody knows it's not just the fitness industry, it's not just the entertainment industry, it's the entire general public who have, they just want to see some great storytelling. That's where I come in.
Yeah.
So like that's the master plan. Anyone who wants to act, anyone who wants to promote themselves and appear on my camera, on my stage as themselves and their personal brand, they have an opportunity to do that.
Yeah. So you guys realize that you guys will probably forever be
The shit.
be questioned, right?
Oh, we don't worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, because again, it's like you got to lead through authenticity. And, you know, if a person really dives into the content, you know, like all I speak about is fucking self-belief. Like I am the shit. Steroids are not the shit. I don't need steroids. Wake up. Like, wake the fuck up. I don't need them.
Yeah, well, there you go, guys. If someone wants to pay for their test, they're willing to take a test.
yeah.
And see, how else would you guys be able to prove something like this?
I don't know.
That you guys are actual natural.
Concrete evidence that would require blood testing. Greg Doucette, help
That's
us
it.
out. 'Cause
Greg,
he does that. He does a lot of natty or nots.
call him out.
I'm looking forward to working with Greg because he's got a really great platform, and I think he misuses it. In my opinion, I think he misuses it
Very much.
He kind of makes it very salacious to call out natties who I believe are natties, and he's just saying that they're not. And then
when
he gets proven wrong.
when he's a guy who was on PEDs, now he's claiming natty.
Yeah,
like,
but we're gonna have a long.
So he
talk.
would know.
Yeah, right? Exactly. He did 42 shows as a natural bodybuilder and then hopped on gear and continued to compete, 59 shows or some shit like that. And he's known for calling out natties and saying that they're not natty. And it's like, dude, like, you should know. You should know. But that's another story. We're going to have a conversation in the future. And I'm definitely getting him in the documentary.
Okay, cool. One last thing. Bradley Martin, natty or not?
No.
No?
he's not natty.
Not
Love
at all?
Brad, though.
Now,
Love
Brad
you.
will tell you out his own fucking mouth he ain't
Yeah.
natural.
Yeah? Okay.
Cool guy, though.
And he's even now he's still on
Hell
stuff
yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Brad probably on
Little TRT.
TRT.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what is it? HGH2. I like one day I'm just gonna get like a great list of all of. There's like
Shit,
fucking 12 or some shit.
motherfuckers at 260
But I'm 260.
every day. Like, but nah, I love Brad.
Nah,
Brad is
Brad's
cool as a
great.
motherfucker,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, next time I see you guys, maybe you will have a pro card.
Yeah.
Potentially, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to maybe talking to you guys again, and good luck on everything you guys are doing on your documentary, on your journey for this natural bodybuilding movement. And appreciate it. Guys, anything else you guys want to say? Give it a little shout out, or where can people find you?
I think we talked a lot of trash. I'm really happy about that.
Man, look, it's your boy Valley Muscle with 2 Y's. You can find me on all platforms across social media, which is Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. If you can follow us on our joint account, Valley Fury with 2 Y's on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. And my boy right here is just Sean Fury. But besides that, man, shout out to my boy D Wilt. Shout out to my dog Josh. Shout out to Shizzy. Shout out to Swole. Congrats on your win. And like my boy Sean said, man, we coming for your ass. But to all your naturals out there, man, that's watching us, stay true to yourself. This world that they're presenting to you right now, man, it'll make it easy for you to succumb to what they want you to be. If you guys ain't familiar with Ronnie Coleman was one of the greatest. And he was natural for a long time before, he got swayed by some of the top athletes in this industry to hop on. And that's not what we want you guys to do. We are definitely about to create a lane for everybody. So sit tight and stay ready. When it's that time to come, we're going to have a spotlight big enough for everybody, bro.
And my closing statements to all the naturals, and this goes for people could watch this a year, 10 years from now. If you want to follow in our footsteps and pursue natural bodybuilding and like reach that level that we're creating for you guys, yeah, having a great physique is cool, but don't be boring. Don't just think like an athlete. Think like a star. That's how you get there. You're welcome.
Well, there you go, guys. Thanks once again, and I'll see you next time.
Yes, sir.